let's get the show started, shall we?
Live from BC Children's Hospital in Vancouver, it's the 29th Annual Miracle Weekend.
Yes, welcome inside BC Children's Hospital. You know, this place serves 1 million children living in BC and the Yukon. They treat the severely ill kids, of course, but they also take care of all those smaller things like the bad ear infection that happens at 2:30 in the morning or a broken elbow.
Those things can feel like big things to little people,
For sure.
I'm sure. So for the next 4 hours, all day tomorrow, we will give you an insight into so many heroic stories and how this hospital is such an important place to many families around beautiful British Columbia.
All right, who's having fun? How much fun are you having? You're having fun? Let's see those pom-poms. You guys having fun? All right, yes, I'm in the cheering section over here. Nicely done, you guys, nicely done. We've been showing you how communities from all over BC have been helping Children's Hospital, and we're really grateful for the support we've received from our friends in northern BC. Let's head to Prince George now and join Rich Abney, who is with one of BC's Children's Hospital's patient families.
5-year-old Collyns Doran of Prince George is an adventurous and beautiful little girl. But her health has always been a challenge, and until recently, a mystery as well.
Good job! My family doctor who delivered Collyns told us there's something not quite right about her head, and that a pediatrician was going to come in and see us.
Collyns was diagnosed with metopic craniosynostosis, a condition in which an infant's skull bones are fused prematurely. She required corrective surgery at BC Children's Hospital to fix her skull. But the Dorans knew there was a bigger problem. Collyns was slow to gain weight and wasn't hitting milestones at the same rate as her peers. When the Causes Research Clinic at BC Children's Hospital opened in 2015, the Dorans finally got their answers. Funded in part by Mining for Miracles, the Causes Research Clinic provides advanced genetic technology to identify disorders in children that would otherwise remain undiagnosed.
They diagnosed Collyns with a spelling mistake in her ASXL3 gene, which is an operator type gene. So what it does is it gives instructions to other genes on what to do. And because that's a bit jumbled, which is why we are seeing such an array of delays. And so by association, Collyns has been diagnosed with Bainbridge-Roper syndrome.
Collyns' disease is so new, it was only discovered 2 years ago, and Collyns is one of 8 known cases in the world.
There's some kids who follow the typical path, and there's some kids who don't. Good or bad, it's just that they don't. So Collyns is our typical.
For some families, a diagnosis provides an avenue for treatment, while for others, like the Dorans, it provides clarity and a chance to plan for the future.
Knowing the diagnosis is nice because we know what to expect and what to look for and what to do to help her in her daily life.
We told ourselves going into this that whatever happens, diagnosis or not, Collyns is our kid and we love her, and she's quite fabulous actually. And it hasn't really changed how we look at her. It's changed how we're planning for her future, which is a big thing. But the day-to-day stuff has not changed at all. We just want her to be happy and healthy, and really that's all we care about. And we want her to have the necessary support she needs to be happy and healthy, and we may not be there the whole time, so we want to make sure she's looked after.
The Dorans are grateful to BC Children's Hospital and the Causes Clinic for helping prepare them to better support Collyns and give her the life she so deserves. We are pleased to introduce you now to our 2016 champion child. I had a chance to chat with Aiden Chin earlier this evening. 5 years ago, cancer tore apart Aiden's world and forced him into BC Children's Hospital for weeks at a time. But you know what? Cancer couldn't break the deep bond Aiden had with his brother and his friends. In fact, it did quite the opposite.
I don't expect my cancer to come back. It's a new chapter in my life. I guess there is a sense of being a child, being a teen again. So there are times when I do feel free. I don't think I could ever fully go back to what it was like before. Bren was 7 years old and I was only 11, so we both were just kids, right?
I had no clue. I heard the cancer word, I was just like, what is that? Okay, maybe I'm gonna see him tomorrow. My eyes kind of started opening up and I was just like, Aiden's not gonna be here for a while. I'm only gonna see him maybe a couple times a week. It just keeps on going in my head, like what if he was not gonna make it? What if I wasn't gonna see him at home anymore?
There were times when I was feeling really sick and out of it and tired, and there were times when it wasn't always the chemo, it was about how other patients in the hospital were doing.
You don't know what it's like, because I've been through so much pain, but I want to be here for 2 weeks. And they'd be here for 6 months, you say?
And I was sad that there were other patients and there were other children that were younger than me going through cancers that were harder than mine. Basically from that point on, I was like, why don't I try to get through it and then hopefully come back, help out. That's what I've basically been trying to do since I finished treatment. I got to join this club at the hospital called the Oncology Teen Group Club. It's something that you can't find out of the hospital. As a survivor, I'm still part of the teen group. There's still a lot of support that I can give to them and they can give to me, because there's an understanding that treatment isn't over when you're a survivor. There's still an emotional side of things. You have friends that are going through it, friends that aren't gonna make it through it, and that becomes a reality for you. It's not just over. Brooke was a friend of mine that I met in the hospital, and she became basically a sister to me. Brooke was definitely the closest friend that I had that I lost. The day before she passed away, I did get to see her in the hospital, and I did get to hold her hand, talk to her, and say goodbye, and tell her I loved her one last time. And I don't believe that you can accept something like that. You have to, I guess, learn to cope with it more. Before, I felt like cancer was something that was rare, that 1 in a ton of kids would be diagnosed, but it's not rare, and there's a lot of kids in oncology, children that are going through what you went through, and pain that is unexplainable. I want to be able to give back to those that have helped me in the hospital, that have made it so that I can go out there and be active and just live my life again.
It's a really good feeling that I could just go home and do something with my brother now. Without Children's Hospital, my brother wouldn't be here, so I'm eternally grateful for them being there.
I'm looking forward to staying connected to the hospital because it's been such a big part, giving back and pursuing the dreams that I have, and being able to do that because of BC Children's Hospital.
Miracle Weekend coming to a close, but what a weekend it's been. It's time to check in for a big total, guys.
It is.
Let's do it.
Before we do this, though, I really would like to say thanks to all the volunteers working behind the scenes who helped us out.
Yes.
It really is a cast of thousands. So do we want to do this right now?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, let's do it.
All right.
Let's turn the numbers.
Okay.
8,
0, 6, 8, 1, 0. Yeah!
Angels are smiling, lifted by love, awed by the children, exploring their world of pure innocence. Pure others whisper their prayers. Take joy in knowing that everyone shares their faith and hope and love. Little ones laughing, lost in their play. Through grateful eyes, you can hear them say, thank you all. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. Miracles happen with love and with help from the angel in all of us. Miracles happen, oh yes they do. Here's hoping someday what happens for you, and peace comes to you from above. Miracles happen with love. Miracles happen with love, and with help from the angel in all of us. Miracles happen, oh yes they do. Here's hoping someday what happens for you, and peace comes to you from